Hi, hello and welcome to F1 Challenge 1999-2002. My name is Mephisto, today bringing you a very special video, and in case you are not able to tell by the title of the video, today we are celebrating 2 years since I've started this channel, since I've started uploading videos to this channel. My channel, I created this profile a bit longer than that, but it's been 2 years since I've started making videos for this channel, and I decided to celebrate it with a video, and this is it. So this is if I could talk, this is a very big moment for me. I never would have thought I'd still be doing it after 2 years, so obviously this is kind of special for me. But let's go out and whilst we do the reconnaissance lap, yes, reconnaissance lap, I'm going to explain what you are about to see here. So let's get a going. This is live commentary, by the way, so alrighty. So I decided for the for this video I would do a 100% race. And it took me a long time to kind of figure out where I want to race, but in the end decided at Canada, so a full 100% race around Canada, meaning this video is going to be quite long if you haven't been able to tell by the timestamp on the bottom right corner of the video, or bottom left corner if you're looking at the actual video. And I think this is going to be probably the most appropriate way in which I can celebrate this quite an important milestone, I would say. Again, I never would have thought I would be doing videos 2 years in a row, so to be honest, I didn't think I would be doing videos after 2 months, let alone 2 years, so quite fun. So this is going to be a 100% race, 70 laps of here in Canada at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve with the 1998 cars. Okay, let me see where my grid spot is. There it is. Okay, so 100% race around Canada on the Gilles Villeneuve circuit with the 1998 cars. I'm using 100% AI strength with 100% aggression. And this is going to be very interesting. We're starting from 18th because I only put in about 2 laps of qualifying, and on the second lap a minority was in front of me for about half a lap, and it slowed me down. So we're starting from 18th. I don't really know where anyone else starts from, but I guess we'll soon find out. This is going to be quite interesting. 100% race. I've done 100% races, but never on camera, so it should be interesting to see how this goes. But yeah.
Hello there.
Ooh.
Welcome to Canada.
Hello.
The weather, as so often is the case here, is just wonderful.
Is it? Well, hopefully it is, because I've set it to be dry for the entire session. I don't want to have any surprises, so oh, and let's see the grid walk.
Coulthard first.
Well done.
Mika Hakkinen second.
Well,
Michael Schumacher third.
boo.
Eddie Irvine fourth.
Well done, Eddie.
Damon Hill was consistently faster than his teammate. He starts fifth.
Yes, Damon is going to be my teammate.
Sixth. Heinz-Harald Frentzen seventh. Jack Villeneuve eighth.
Last year,
Giancarlo Fisichella, 9th. Wirtz, 10th. Johnny Herbert, 11th. Jean Lacey, 12th. Yano Trulli, 13th. Panis, 14th. 15th. Sarlo, 16th. Diniz, 17th. The Jordan driver, 18th.
Boo.
19th. 20th. 21st. 22nd.
That's, well, not a bug, it's... And let's go for the warm-up lap here. Keep it nice and steady here, because, well, this is just a warm-up lap. It's not supposed to be fast. Hopefully, there won't be any any incidents in turn 1. Canada is quite famous for that. It's quite a narrow entrance into the chicane there, so I will try to be careful, which is going to be quite easy considering how far back we are. I should have more than enough time to respond to any kind of weirdness. Alrighty. Oh, don't crash into him. The black arrows there. The arrows of Pedro Diniz, who used to be teammates with my teammate Damon Hill in 1997. But Damon decided to join Jordan for 1998 and go for them until 1999, when he decided that he had more than enough Formula 1 for a lifetime. I'm a big fan of Damon Hill, by the way, so... Alright. Let's not kill the engine, because otherwise we'll be stuck here on the grid. Now let's wait for everyone to come to the grid spots. Oh, come on! My tires are getting cold. Seriously? No one? Oh my god. We have quite a... It looks like we'll be waiting for quite a while now. Which is bad because I'm losing fuel. I'll be doing a two-stop strategy, by the way. I'm not sure what the AI is going to do, but I think a two-stop will be the best solution for the track. Oh, come on, where are these guys? Huh. This is taking longer than I thought. It doesn't... It never does this. What the hell? Oh, come on. Seriously, game? Finally. Alright, so 5 light and we are off. Finally. And we lose a place to our minority, but we gain it back immediately. Ooh. Easy through the chicane. Nice and easy. So we are now right behind Salo. I should be able to power out of the corner. My tires are quite cold, so can't really push yet. So we will have to wait a couple of laps, I think, before we can start overtaking people. But yeah, we had to wait a lot of time on the grid there, which is interesting because I did a couple of tests before starting this recording and everything went pretty damn fine. Whoa, don't crash into the Tyrrell. So we pass Mika Salo there. We are right behind Takagi in his Tyrrell. We shouldn't have too much problems with him. After all, he's in a Tyrrell, and Tyrrell... By this point, Tyrrell were far from being competitive. But yeah. So we're in 17th, we gained one spot during that first lap. Hopefully we'll be able to gain a few more. Ideally I would like to finish in the points, but top 10 would also be quite nice. After all, this is not a Ferrari, this is just a Jordan, so shouldn't expect too much from... Ooh, that was bad. Shouldn't expect too much from the Jordan. Well, it wasn't a bad car per se, but it wasn't the best either. It was 1999 when it truly shone. And after that it fell again. Until 2005 when Red Bull bought the team. Was it? Am I talking stupid things now? I think I'm talking bollocks. And I kinda overtook Diniz, but I was afraid I would crash into Takagi's Tyrrell under braking into the last chicane, so I just decided to give the place to Diniz back. I'll still have time to take it away from him, so I'm not all that worried. Tires are still quite cold. I can't go flat out through that corner. A lot of understeer. But we're only on lap 3, so brake for the chicane. Good. We caught up a bit with Diniz. Use his slipstream. I think we'll overtake him here. Yep. Here we go. Nice one. So now let's see if we can dispose of Tora Takagi. Shouldn't be too hard. Again, he's driving a bloody Tyrrell. But we're not going to do it then. That was a little bit too far behind to try and make a move. Wondering what Damon Hill's doing up front. Is he still 5th? Did he lose any positions? I don't know. What? I guess we'll find out at the end of the race, or with a little bit of luck when we catch up to him. Ooh, that's very deep. I kind of missed my braking point there. And that allowed Takagi to get quite a bit away, but we should be able to get that time back in no time. Does that make any sense? Probably not. Ooh. There we go. The AI is so slow coming into this hairpin, it's unbelievable. This hairpin, the last chicane, which we're coming up to right now, Okay, yeah, thanks. And turn 1 are the places where the AI are the slowest, where you can make up the most time, so a bit of a shame, but oh well. So we're now in 14th, and this is only lap 5, so we've gained 4 places in 5 laps. That's not bad. If we could continue this all the way to the end of the race, and we could probably win, although I'm not, I won't hold my hopes high, so again, I would be happy if we could finish in the points, but I think even that is a bit of a stretch, but we'll see. Ooh, that was deep. Come on, truly, make a mistake, please. No, actually, don't do it. Oh, I don't know who's in the Sauber, but it looks like he got a little bit out of shape there. Slowed everyone down. Well done, David. Okay, I'm not going to try and lunge because, well, I don't want to crash. I don't want to destroy my car. I want to race all the way to the end. Come on. That's kind of bad. Sorry if I'm a bit silent. I'm trying to concentrate here. I want to overtake Truly as soon as possible. But kind of making a whole bunch of mistakes. Oh, nearly lost the back there. Ooh, that lot of understeer. Oh, understeer there. I don't know why. But at least we came out of the corner intact. So that's. Ooh, and he. That was wide. Why did he do that? I wasn't prepared to overtake, so. Yeah. Who cares about Michael Schumacher? I don't. Ooh, whoa. That was a bit hot. And of course, Truly cuts the track. But thankfully, we stay in his slipstream and. Oh, come on. There we go. Finally got that maneuver done. So Sean Lacey is next. Don't know if I will be able to overtake him, but he's next. I'm kind of sad for Sean Lacey because he was a very good driver and he only managed to win a single Grand Prix during his career, which is kind of a bummer, really. But yeah, I always had a lot of respect for Sean Lacey. Ooh, that's a bit hot. And he's slow out of the chicane as pretty much everyone else. And I think, well, we are going to easily overtake him. Yep, there we go. And next is Olivier Panis in the Prost there. Just 2 years before this, the team was called Ligier. But Alain Prost bought the team and now they're Prost. I have no idea why it said that. Anywho. Come on. There we go. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. Kind of got stuck on the curbs there. Nearly lost the car. But thankfully, I didn't. Come on. I'm a little bit too far back to go for a maneuver there. So let's wait until we either... We might be able to overtake him on the straight right now. Actually, I think... Nope. Ooh. Okay, that was bad. I kind of just misjudged my braking there. And we're right back up with Olivier Panis here. Okay. Oh. Bit of a understeer there. Come on. Come on. Let's try and get as close to Alicia as possible. Sorry, Panis. No. Wow. It's a miracle that I didn't lose my wing there. Let's try not to do that again, okay? Wow. That would have been bad, having to pit already to change my front wing, but thankfully we didn't have to. Okay, I'm not prepared to overtake through there yet. Okay. I really need to get around Panis as quickly as possible because he's holding me up now. But I don't want to make too many risks either, so... I need to find the right moment to overtake. That was an absolutely awful corner there. Okay, I think we will be able to overtake him into the hairpin. There we go. Nice. So we are now in 11th. And Alexander Wurz is in front of us. He's about 4 seconds ahead. So it's going to take quite a while before we catch up to him. But now that we have clean air in front of us, it should be a little bit easier to push. Oh, and look at that, we've already caught up with Wurz. We're 2.5 seconds behind Wurz at this point. And that was absolutely abysmal. Broke too early into the chicane there. Come on, keep it nice and tight through the chicane. A little bit slow, but... Ooh. Luckily the car didn't spin. That could have been a disaster. Come on. I thought the car wouldn't slow down in time, but luckily it did. And Wurz just overtook Herbert. So we are now chasing after Herbert, who is about 1.5 seconds ahead. And I hope they keep fighting, because that will allow us to get close really easily. And look at that, we're already under a second behind them. Ooh. Okay, that was stupid. I left my... I broke too late there. I don't know what I thought I could accomplish by doing that, but I did. So now we lost a bunch of time. Time we don't really have. Oh, and there's a crash. Well, an incident, not a crash. I think I'm going to kind of put some replay overlays just so you can see what's happening around us. Obviously I won't be able to make any comments on any replays, because this is live commentary. I'm not... although I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. Well, I think if there's nothing really interesting going on whilst I'm driving, I think I'll just put the replay on the entire screen. But if I'm fighting for position, I might just put the replay in a corner. That's probably the best idea. Okay, so we're already on lap 13. We're 11th. Quite nice. Ooh. Broke a bit late. I'm going to do this quite a lot in this race, aren't I? And that's a shame, because as it seems that we're coming up on back markers, and I could have used that back marker to overtake Herbert, but oh well. That was one of the Tyrrells. Not exactly sure who it was, nor do I really care at this point, to be honest. I'm not racing him, he's not racing me, so it could be anyone. Well, we're actually doing quite well at the moment, I'd say. I mean, we've moved up 7 places in 13 laps, which isn't all that bad. And we're about to break into the top 10, which shouldn't be too difficult, especially if I stop making mistakes. That's the problem, isn't it? I will always make driving mistakes. Hey, I'm not a professional driver after all. I'm just an armchair racer. And there's some contact somewhere on the track. Again, you'll probably see it in the corner of the screen somewhere. Or maybe on the entire screen if nothing interesting is happening whilst we're racing. But we're now approaching some back markers, so hopefully we can take advantage of this. No, not quite. That's one of the minorities. I'm not going to risk an overtaking maneuver here. I probably could have overtaken Johnny Herbert there, but I didn't want to risk it. Okay. And we're coming up on a... Oh, come on, you cut in front of me like that? That's a Stewart, so that's Jan Magnussen. Magnussen is very slow in this mod. Don't know why, because Barrichello's drive is quite good. And as far as I can remember, Jan Magnussen did some very interesting, had some pretty interesting results in both in 1997 and 1998, so why he's so slow in this mod I don't really understand, but oh well. Come on. Okay, let's see, can we overtake Johnny Herbert? I don't really think so, we're not close enough. But we might be able to overtake him into turn 1, which is a good thing. Oh, shizzles. Nearly crashed into Wurz there. But we're still intact. So we are now in the top 10, which is absolutely amazing. Can we stay in the top 10 though? I don't know. Again, I'm doing a free stop strategy. I don't know what the AI is doing, but most likely they're doing one stops, because that's what the AI generally does. Even when it's not the fastest solution. Which is kind of a shame, really. I really would have liked to see the AI do more realistic pit stops, but oh well. Now, can we break into the top 6 for points? I have no idea. And one of the reasons why I have no idea is because even if I overtake Wurz, I don't know who's in front of him and how far ahead they are. Ooh. Okay, that was a little bit too ambitious. That was a little bit too ambitious. And now I lost my position to Herbert as well. Oh, Mephisto, why do you always have to do stupid things like that? Ah. Oh, Coulthard is catching up to us. So we might be lapped at sooner or later. Okay. Let's try to keep it nice and clean. Move to the right there. Back up in 10th. Keep it on the inside. Just to make sure Johnny Herbert cannot get past. So we're back in 10th and we're still chasing after Wurz now. Well, we're once again chasing after Wurz. That was bad. And if anyone's wondering why I'm not driving in Monaco, the answer is quite easy. Because I'm almost 100% certain that the AI wouldn't be able to last more than half the race distance. So yeah, it's not only on the old circuit where the AI has problems navigating the Monaco circuit, it's even in modern times where you have this stupid thing. So that's why I'm not doing Monaco. It would have been nice, obviously. I would have but because I know that the AI wouldn't be capable of running a proper race there, I had to choose a different circuit. So I decided to make it Canada because one, I enjoy this circuit. It's kind of has a street feel to it because of the barriers, so there's that. Plus I'm mildly competent at this circuit, so I can expect to do well here. Well, I used to win in Canada quite a lot, and for those of you who've seen my original Formula 1 series, probably noticed that I've been doing quite well in Canada. Okay, I haven't been running 100% AI there because I was running shorter races, 35% races, and I'm not that good to make anything good of that. I mean 100% difficulty for me is good when I'm running a 100% race, but anything shorter than that and it'll just appear that I'm incompetent. I never claimed to be a good driver. Well, sim driver. I don't drive in real life. I don't have a license. I do not have a car. Those things are expensive. It's not to say that I wouldn't like to have a car or a... but they're expensive. At least for my budget. I'm living off of minimum wage, so that's not a lot of money to go by. And you need to pay taxes, and apparently we need to eat as well because that's how we evolved. So that we need to eat every now and then. Which means there's barely any money left for going to driving school and get a license or to get a car. And that was a pretty nice overtake there, if I do say so myself. I think we should look at a replay of that. I mean, that was pretty sweet, I think. And if I haven't put up a replay of it, it means that in the replay it didn't look as good. Alright, so we are on lap 21 now and up in 9th, so pretty good progress. But we are slowly approaching the moment when I have to pit. I will have to pit on lap 24, so yes, we have enough fuel to take us to lap 24, which is good. Ooh, broke a little bit late into the chicane. So, Frenton is ahead of us. And he's 10 seconds ahead. Wow. There's no way I can catch up to him in 2 laps, so... Whoa, that... Okay. Screwed myself over there. And that allows Wurz to get back in front of us. That was me not paying attention to the circuit, so... Oh man. I broke a bit early into the chicane, but never mind. Brake for the hairpin. Pretty decent exit. Not the best, but it's decent. Now, my only question is, will my brakes last all the way to the end of the race? Because this circuit is a brake destroyer. I mean, you really use a lot of brakes on this circuit. There are a lot of very heavy braking points, like turn 1, the final chicane, the hairpin obviously, and those corners really tend to use a lot of brake. So I'm not sure if I'll have enough to go by until the end of the race. Hopefully I'll have. Okay, the low fuel light has come on. But we can still go for one more lap, which is good because it means we can stay on schedule in terms of pit stop, which is what I want. And my throat is starting to get really dry. Okay, let's try and... oh. Ooh. A little bit rough, but I managed to pull it through. Oh. So obviously we won't be able to catch Frenton, unfortunately. We still have 1/3 of the race left. A little bit. Oh. Sorry, we still have 2/3 of the race. I cannot talk. We have a little under 2/3 of the race left. There, finally I said it. Holy Moses. And we're coming up on a back marker there, a Tyrrell. Don't know who it is. Probably Rosset. But it could be anyone, so. Oh, come on. You kinda slowed me down there. Which means we lost a bit of time. Okay, so so we are now down in 15th. And I think that's David Coulthard. So we've just been lapped. Well, I was expecting that to happen sooner or later, so. But we're now down in 15th. So, here goes nothing. Who's in front of us? Tora Takagi, it looks like. About 10 seconds ahead, so we have a lot of catching up to do now. But let's not forget that the AI also has to stop sooner or later. I suspect that the AI is going to pit about 10 laps from now, around lap 35. This is lap 25, obviously. We pitted at the end of lap 24. Our next pit will be right around lap 48. Ooh, that was a bit deep. And they cut the track. Thankfully, no. We didn't get a cut track warning, so that's good. We're catching up to Tora Takagi, which is good. We've made up 2 seconds in that last lap, so hooray. Although I shouldn't celebrate it too much, because, well, we're driving a Jordan and Takagi is driving a Tyrrell, and as I said, Tyrrell by this point were far from their winning days back in the 70s. So yeah. Shouldn't put up too much of a fight. Oh man, my throat is getting really dry. I don't really want to take my hand off the steering wheel to drink. I have a glass of water right next to me, but I don't really want to risk losing the car, but I think once we are on the casino straight it should be fairly safe. Ooh, that was a bit of late braking, but at least we are up with Toranosuke Takagi once again. Oh, that's not Takagi, that's a back marker. There's Takagi, I can see him. Three seconds up the road. Should be able to catch him quite soon though, so I'm not too worried. Broke a bit late into the hairpin. Oh man. There we go, much better. Good sip of water. Ooh, don't go onto the grass, you idiot. Now my only problem is that my bladder is starting to hurt. And I would want to do this in one long shot. I don't want to have to pause the video, but might have to. And we're not even halfway through the race. Okay, so looks like we're coming up on both Takagi and some back markers. Whoa. What are you doing, Takagi? Oh, come on, Michael. There you go. Jeez. Okay, I don't want to get in his way because I'm not racing Schumacher, but I have no idea why he took so long to overtake that back marker. Come on, get out of my way. I'm not racing you. Seriously, dude? Whoa. First gear through there is a bad idea. Come on. Keep it together. Oh man, I'm not catching up to Takagi, which is bad. I kinda got bogged down behind back markers, which is not what you want, obviously. And I don't want to push too hard because I don't want to make too many mistakes. I'm doing enough as it is, so don't need any more. But we're slowly approaching the halfway point of the race. We are just about to start lap 30. Yeehaw! Okay, there's Takagi. I can see his Tyrrell. Come on, Mephisto, come on, you can do it. It shouldn't be so hard, I mean. Yes, I have more fuel now, but I have fresher tires, so it should be easier to catch these guys. But then again, they have older fuel tires, although they have less fuel as well, so that kind of tends to balance itself out. Whew. Come on, come on. Getting close to Takagi. Ooh. Broke a bit too late, had to. I didn't like that one, but. And my right leg is starting to hurt. That's not good. My arms at the moment are quite alright, but my right leg is starting to hurt quite badly. Whoa, 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 near. Whoa, take it easy, Tiger. Went onto the grass there. Coming out of the fast right-hander there. Nearly lost the car, but thankfully I managed to catch it. That could have been the end of the race. And I was right behind Takagi too. Well, almost behind Takagi. Oh man, I lost a lot of time through with that mistake. So it's going to take who knows how much time before we manage to catch back up. The problem is that laps are ticking down, and it's going to be the fewer laps we have at our disposition, the less the possibility of getting back into the top 10. At this point, to be honest, I don't really think a points position will be possible unless there are going to be some retirements. You SOB. There we go. Whoa. Nearly touched the wall. Thankfully I didn't. Any kind of contact would be bad because I have a in this game I have a modified damage file which makes the cars super fragile, so the smallest knock and your suspension is completely gone, and I obviously don't want that. So we finally managed to get into 14th. It took me nearly 10 laps. That's absolutely horrible. This means, judging by, come on, words not working anymore. So, considering that it took me nearly 10 laps to gain one position since my pit stop, it's quite doubtful that I'll be able to get back into the top 10. Yes, the AI still has to make its pit stop, but I myself have to make a second stop, so, and there's some sort of an incident with my teammate Damon Hill. Hopefully he's okay, mainly because he's the highest running Jordan, so he's the only one who could make Eddie Jordan happy at this point. Oh man, don't go. Man, I really don't understand it, but my car oversteers a lot through that right-hander. Incidentally, that's the right-hander where Olivier Panis lost control of his Prost in 1997 and crashed when he broke both his legs. That was quite an awful accident. I remember seeing it when I was a child. Seeing the incident when I was a child, and it really looked really awful. Well, then again, Ralf Schumacher's crash looked quite horrible as well, but he was a bit luckier. Ralf Schumacher crashed into the tire walls right in front of us there in 1997. He came out of it unscathed, and some laps later Olivier Panis lost his car through this corner, crashed into the tire barrier to the left there, and really horribly even, and broke both his legs, and the race was stopped after that, after 52 or 53 laps I believe it was. But yeah, luckily nothing worse happened to Panis. Obviously breaking both your legs is bad enough in and of itself, but as Murray Walker said, if that crash were to happen just a handful of years prior to 1997, it could have ended with Panis losing his life, which would have been quite awful, obviously. So luckily that didn't happen. Okay, so we are now in the second half of this race. Still in 14th, not doing a lot of headway. I was expecting to do a little bit better, but again, positions will change a bit once the AI starts to come in. Only problem is that shortly after that I will have to stop as well. So yeah, and I don't know when the AI is going to stop. They should have started hitting by this point, but apparently they are going for a longer first stint. I don't know why you would go for such an odd pit strategy, but especially Canada. But oh well. Oh. Come on. We've been following Truly for quite a while now. Haven't had the opportunity to overtake him yet. It's starting to be a bit annoying. Surely his tires should be shot by now. Yet I don't seem to have too much grip myself. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Easy. I'm starting to run out of things to talk about. And we're only a little over half race distance, so we're just about to start lap 38. Ooh, that was a mistake. Wasn't paying attention to my brake point. Nearly ended up in the collecting. Whoa, 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 whoa. I will. There you go. Go, Irvine. Come on. Jesus. So that lost me a bit of time. Sometimes the AI doesn't really want to lap you. I don't really understand why. But anyway. And Coulthard is continuing to post faster and faster laps. I forgot to shift there. Obviously that's not going to help either my engine or my cause. Oh, come on. First gear wasn't necessary through there. I don't know why I did it. Alright. Come on. No! Bastard! I wanted to take advantage of Irvine lapping Takagi. But obviously I was too far behind to be able to make anything of it. Oh, what the hell are you doing? Thank you, Ricardo Rosset. Takagi would be very furious at his teammate for that. But at least we're back in 14th. So now let's try and somehow get past Truly. Don't know how, because I've been struggling to get around him for quite a while. And then I made that mistake. Come on. Nope. Okay, I have no idea why I did that. But I broke way too early for the chicane. And good news, the AI is starting to pit. So we should start gaining a couple of positions now. Okay, that's a minority. Ooh. Yes. Made good use of that minority. Finally we got in front of Truly. That took like 100 years too many. So we should gain a couple of positions. Well, at least one. We're now 12. Oh. Okay, so I messed that up royally. But the car didn't have absolutely any grip on the outside and... Okay, whatever. I was trying to lap Jan Magnussen over there. Come on, get out of my freaking way. Thank you. Wow. So he first forces me to go on the outside, and then he freaking holds the bloody racing line for the chicane, so I can't get him. Oh. So Herbert is in the pits. I don't think we'll catch him. We're too far back. Well, we might be able to get close to him, but we won't overtake him. That's for certain. Ooh, wow. That was bad. Interestingly enough, every single time I did that, I didn't get a corner cut warning. Or a penalty for that matter. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Kind of interesting. But yeah, I knew I wouldn't be able to get in front of Herbert. Which is kind of bad. Because I would have liked to get in front of Herbert, getting really messy through the chicane. Come on. This Jordan should be faster than Herbert's Sauber, but a fast car does not necessarily mean that you can overtake someone. You also need a good driver, that something which I'm not. Break. Yes, I can see him. So we move up into 11th. We were in 9th before we had to pit, so we lost a lot of time. I think... Did we overtake Herbert before I went into the pits? I can't remember anymore. It was like, what? Half an hour ago? And now we are approaching the point when I have to pit, so... Any headway I managed to make up until now is going to go out the window once again. So I'm afraid that we will not finish in the top 10. But that doesn't really matter because overall I'm having fun, so that's the important part of this video, to have fun, right? Come on. Do I dare? No, I don't. I was contemplating on trying to make an aggressive move on Johnny Herbert, but I thought better of it. Obviously it would be quite bad if I damaged the car now. Again, a lot of oversteer through that right-hander. I don't understand why. Oh, understeer, not oversteer, sorry. You should be able to go flat out through there. Even with the grooved tires. Oh, okay, never mind then. Takagi is right on my gearbox and I don't really like that. I would like to pull away from him, but he's sticking to me like glue. Come on. I think we can go for a move now. Oh, that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. So we're now in 10th. Unfortunately, we have to pit in a few laps. So we will lose this position really quickly. And I have no idea why I shifted down into first gear. Okay, so we did lose a lot of time after my pit stop. We should have come out either close to or in front of Alexander Wurz, but he's almost 5 seconds up the road. But yeah, made a lot of mistakes, plus I was held behind Takagi and Trulli for a very long time during the middle stint, which ultimately led to us losing a lot of time. But oh well. I think I can confidently say that finishing in the top 10 will be next to impossible. But again, the most important thing is to have fun. And I am having quite a bit of fun, so hurrah! We're slowly closing in on Wurz, but well, it doesn't really matter because we won't have time to get close enough to pass him before we need to pit. Although I can see him right in front of us. He's that little black dot moving in front of us. There he is going through the chicane. Two and a half seconds. Nope. Considering that I'm going to have to pit at the end of the next lap, there's not much I can do. Well, I can still try and close the gap. Obviously it's going to help in the long run, but I don't think we'll get back into 9th. Would be nice though. We're finally pulling away from Johnny Herbert, which is good. I think he's actually caught up in a battle with Tora Takagi, so that's slowing both of them down actually, so allowing me to pull away, which is good. Took a bit too much of that curb. No, we will not catch Wurz. Wow, that was messy. Well, at least we got close to Wurz. Well, we might be able to overtake him, but it won't make too much of a difference in the long run.
Okay, I'll inform the pit crew of your instructions.
So we are going to pit at the end of this lap. Whoa, that was a bit courageous. Oh, come on. Seriously, Wurz? Okay, so we're now in 9th. Again, it won't make too much of a difference by the end of the race, so. Okay, hopefully I didn't break the pit speed limit. That would be absolutely devastating. Okay, slightly better stop than the previous one. And there we go. Ooh, this is quite good. We've rejoined the track in 11th. Although we do have to find a way to make up 15 seconds to Johnny Herbert. But I really wasn't expecting to come out this high during my after my second stop. So I still have, there might still be some hope in finishing in the top 10, which would be nice. Would be. But now again, this is the final stint, and I'm starting to kind of get worried about my brakes. Unfortunately, there's no information to tell me how much brakes I still have left, so I don't know if I should take it easy on the brakes or if I can still push. Regardless, I will try to push as hard as possible. I do want to catch Herbert and pass him. Ooh, that's very deep. Why do I always shift into first gear? There's no need for it. Come on, Mephisto. Keep it together. Get out of my way, Rosette. Thank you. And that is Jan Magnussen. Hopefully he will let us through without too much. Yep, that's good. So we're slowly catching Johnny Herbert. But will I be able to close in on him enough to make a pass by the end of the race? I don't know. I wonder whose Ferrari is that? Well, actually, most likely it's Eddie Irvine. Unless it's Michael Schumacher, of course. Come on, little Minardi. You son of a gun. Thank you. Did you see that? He just took the racing line as if no one was behind him. Annoying little bugger, the Minardis. Annoying little buggers, even. Plural. Yeah. Minardi, Tyrrell, and Jan Magnussen's Stewart are about the slowest cars on the track, together with the Arrows. And I don't know why. They're slower than you'd expect. And they only serve to be annoying for anyone else. Mobile chicanes. Ooh, that's how you go through that corner, see? No understeer. Flat out. Why can't I always get it like that? Because I'm not a good driver, that's why. Yeah. So, where's Herbert? 12 seconds up the road, lap 52 out of 70. We should have enough laps left to catch him, although I don't know if we'll have enough to overtake him as well, as I mess my blind through that chicane once again. And there's probably someone screaming at the screen that I should receive a penalty for that. But I don't. I didn't receive a penalty, so I'm going to drive as normal. Obviously, I'm not going to auto-penalize myself. Wow, going wide through there. See, most of the times I just go wide through that fast right-hander. I don't understand why. Because to me it feels like every time I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm probably not. If I would actually be doing the same thing every time, then every single time it would feel the exact same way, wouldn't it? Wow, that was a poor braking. So, lap 53. Ten seconds to Herbert. Can we catch him though? The more the laps count down, the less hopeful I am. But maybe I'll be lucky. There's still plenty of laps left in the race, so there could be someone who retires, there could be an accident or something. Whoa, that was... Ah. I always have to mess up a corner. Unfortunately, driving badly won't help me get any closer to Johnny Herbert. Which is kind of the opposite of what I would like. Not necessarily want, but like. Alrighty. Wow, that was deep. Broke a bit too late. Yeah, thank you. I kind of have things to look at. I can tell where people are. But regardless... And once again I ran out of things to say. It's hard to keep a conversation going for 1.5 hours. Well, probably a little bit longer considering that we had that little problem at the start of the race where there were a few cars that were kind of slow on the formation lap. I was actually contemplating on restarting the race, but oh, hit my had an itch and hit my steering wheel. But yeah, I was kind of contemplating on restarting the race just because of how long the AI took to complete the formation lap, but decided against it eventually, and here we have the race. So, still trying to catch Johnny Herbert. Things haven't changed, you haven't missed anything. We are on lap 56. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Johnny Herbert is around 9 seconds up the road. Was 8, but I just lost a bunch of time with that awful line through the chicane. Time we're changing now, have to somehow try to recover, which is easier said than done. Yeah, kind of a messy line again. Ooh. Wow. I nearly spun the car there. Ha 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 ha. Again, I've run out of things. If I can talk, I've run out of things to say, and I'm also trying to kind of concentrate here to try and catch Johnny Herbert. We have about 14 laps left in this race, so not a lot of time. Thank you, Minardi. Don't know who you were, but thank you. Man, we lapped the back markers quite a few times, haven't we? I can only imagine how many times David Coulthard and Michael Schumacher lapped them. I wonder who's in the lead. I have genuinely no idea. Well, my hope is that it's David Coulthard, because Mika Hakkinen returned on the opening lap. He had some gearbox problems, I remember that much. And I know David Coulthard started from pole, Michael Schumacher was in third, and I think Trulli was fourth with my teammate Damon Hill in fifth. So by all accounts, David Coulthard should be in the lead. First of all, because McLaren were a lot better than Ferrari in 1998 and in 1999. And David Coulthard is not a bad driver. He was never a bad driver. No, I mean it. In my mind, David Coulthard was an absolutely brilliant driver and was among the best starters. I mean, how many races did he start from in which he gained like 6-7 places off the start? That's quite remarkable. And he had a pretty good run at Formula 1. Too bad he never had the possibility of winning a championship. That would have been nice. But he was a bit kind of overshadowed by his teammate Mika Hakkinen, who was slightly better than him. Well, if you'd ask David, he'd say that he was much better than him. I would say only slightly better. In my mind, David Coulthard was just as capable a driver as Mika Hakkinen was, so that's not to say that Mika Hakkinen wasn't a good driver, don't get me wrong. I was kind of a semi-Mika Hakkinen fan. And I say that because I was a bigger fan of Damon Hill, who was sadly robbed of one of his championships. He almost won the 1994 championship, but a certain German driver decided that he would have none of it and crashed into him. I still think that Michael Schumacher crashed into Damon Hill at the 1994 Australian Grand Prix on purpose. And the reason was pretty simple. Damon Hill was leading the race, and if he was to win the Australian Grand Prix, he would win the championship. But if something was to happen and would force Damon Hill to retire and Michael Schumacher to retire, Michael Schumacher would win the championship because he had enough points by that time. And he did one of the worst things he could have done. Which is one of the reasons I never had any sort of respect for Michael Schumacher, because he I don't know. He was talented. I'm not saying he wasn't a good driver. He was a very good driver and a very talented driver, but dirty tactic, the thing for which I never respected Michael Schumacher was the fact that he wasn't below dirty tactics. If it would help him, he would actually do anything he had in his power. And that's something I absolutely hated. Well, not that and freaking team orders. I always hated team orders. Team orders which were the thing that in my mind made the ending of the 1997 season an absolutely horrible thing. First with Ferrari in Japan, and then there was the stupid thing with McLaren and Williams at the European Grand Prix at Jerez, which were very clearly team orders, and they were the worst kind of team orders. I really didn't enjoy the way the 1997 season ended. It was very, very disappointing for me, but oh well. And speaking of the 1997 Grand Prix, I believe that just like in 1994 in Adelaide, Michael Schumacher intentionally steered his Ferrari into Jacques Villeneuve's Williams. He tried to take him out of the race. Luckily, he wasn't as successful this time. Plus, as opposed to Damon Hill, Villeneuve was a little bit more vocal about it. Well, actually, Villeneuve was quite vocal about a lot of things, which were some of the main reasons that he started losing popularity about halfway through the 1997 season. Especially after he made that statement after the Canadian Grand Prix, when he said that despite saying so, none of the drivers actually really cared about Olivier Panis's crash and how it would affect him, and they were just pulling a facade for the media to seem like they were sorry for Olivier Panis, but they weren't. And whether or not Villeneuve was right about that doesn't what am I about to say? So whether or not Villeneuve was right in saying so doesn't matter, because it's not something he should have said, really, to be honest. But oh well. What's done is done, and it cannot be undone. And I'm starting to fail to catch Johnny Herbert now. I've been talking about the 1994 and 1997 season so much that I kind of started losing concentration and driving quite badly. And we only have a handful of laps left in the race. And Johnny Herbert's been about 7.5 seconds up the road for the past 6 or 7 laps. Which means that we are not making any headway. Which means that we are most likely going to finish in 11th. A bit disappointing, but not too bad. Oh man, my butt's starting to hurt. My ribs are starting to hurt. My everything is starting to hurt. I rarely do these kinds of races, and obviously this is the first time I'm doing it on camera, so it's quite interesting, because when I do them off camera, I generally take a break about halfway through the race, but for the video's sake, I wanted to make it all in one go, just as if this were a real proper Canadian Grand Prix. And yeah. Oh, and I just remembered, we have been left at least once, right? So that means that we only have 69 laps to our disposal. And we are about to finish lap 665. That only gives us 5 more laps to catch Johnny Herbert. That's nowhere near enough. That's nowhere near enough. Oh. So I think we should settle for 11th now. There's not too much sense in trying to push hard now. It would be absolute... Again, I cannot talk. I've been talking for nearly 1.5 hours, if not even longer now. My throat is dry and it's kind of hurting. But yeah, I think it would be the best thing to do now is to settle for 11th place. There's no point in pushing and risking making a mistake at the end of the race now, so 11th place it is. Well, who knows? The AI could still make a mistake, so it's not like it's set in stone at the moment, but it will be very, very soon. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, come on, say something. I'm trying to think about things to talk about for the remainder of the race, but nothing really interesting comes to mind at this moment, at this point. Yeah, we're not catching Herbert anymore. So, I think it is... there's no much not much sense in trying to push and crash. So, after all, 11th is our place. Well, it's not bad. It's not particularly good either, but it's not bad. This would be bad if this would be 1998. Because in 1998, Jordan had a slightly better car, which allowed Jordan to finish the season in third. But this is not 1999, this is 1998, so the Jordan isn't as good as it could be. Sha-la-la-la-la-la. Okay, probably shouldn't sing. Okay, kind of somehow managed to gain a second on Johnny Herbert. Although I'm guessing he's stuck behind some traffic at this point, so maybe that's the reason. And here we are on our final lap. Well done, Coulthard. Well done, Michael Schumacher. Well done, Villeneuve. Come on, please tell me that Damon is in 6th. Okay, I don't think it's going to say. I really hope that Damon did better than me. Okay, I really think that Herbert is stuck in traffic. Stuck in traffic because I'm catching him. And apparently Damon Hill didn't finish in 6th. Kind of sad, but oh well. Raise the old hand. So that was the Canadian Grand Prix. As we now kind of head towards the pits. Well, in real life you'd head towards Parc Fermé, but there's no Parc Fermé in this game. I wonder if it could be modded into the game. I don't think anyone ever thought about it, really. Despite the game being like a bajillion years old now. But yeah, that was a fun race. I had a lot of fun. I'm guessing that most of you haven't had much fun. And actually, I wouldn't be surprised if some of you haven't watched it start to finish. Because I know how people watch videos. Most people don't watch the entirety of the video. Whoa, 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 whoa. Shouldn't have taken off my hands. Come on. There you go. Put on the old pit limiter. Ooh. And there is our pit box.
It's been a scintillating Canadian Grand Prix.
Yes, it has.
Final results. David Coulthard first. Michael
Well done.
Schumacher second.
Well done to him as well.
Villeneuve
Bravo.
fourth. Rubens Barrichello
Good enough.
fifth. Branson
Yep.
sixth. The Jordan driver, 11th.
Well, Damon Hill finished in 8th, not too good. Well, it would have been good if this was 2003. In that case, he would have received 1 point, as it is. Okay, so let's see what's further down. So, the only retirement is Mika Hakkinen with his gearbox failure. That's quite interesting. Ricardo Rosset finished in 21st, 7 laps behind everyone. So, yeah. Esteban Tuero 20th and Jan Magnussen 19th, 7 laps down. Wow. I expected GAA to be quite far behind, but not quite that much. But anywho, so that was the 2-year special. That was the 2-year anniversary special. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a longer video than what I generally do, but I wanted to do something quite special, and I think this is special enough. I think this was quite a nice way to celebrate 2 years of doing YouTube. So yeah. I don't know how many of you will actually watch this start to finish. I'm guessing not many. Again, I know not a lot of people watch my videos start to finish. In fact, my videos kind of average 2 to 2.5 minutes view time, even the shortest, regardless of how long or short they actually are. So yeah. But anyway, that is it for this video, this special video. 2 years. Again, I'm quite excited. Quite enthused. I don't know what I want to say. Okay, so let's gather our thoughts here. Okay, I'm quite excited that I actually reached this point. Again, when I started out, I didn't really think that I would last for more than 2 months, considering that I generally get bored of things really, really quickly, and I didn't really see myself doing something like this. But somehow I stuck with it. There's something in making YouTube videos, and that kind of appeals to me. So I think it's a lot of fun, both recording the games and then editing the videos. So it's been quite a lot of fun. I enjoyed these 2 years. The channel hasn't grown as quickly as I would have liked to, but that's okay too. I'm okay with it as long as the people who are watching are actually interested in what I'm doing and are not just here to leave stupid comments. So yeah. But I think I should end the video there, because it's long enough as it is. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this special video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you all so much for watching. Watch out, because tomorrow we'll have our next race in the VB series with Andy Higgs. But yeah, again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay sharp. Happy 2 years, guys. Happy 2 years. Hehe.